Mark Hunt. He grew up in New Zealand in a big Samoan family, and his family life was chaotic to say the least. With his father being the main villain, he was, simply put, a monster. Mark recalls, he terrorized them. He'd start with the mental games before he even found the implements to hit us with. Mark says he was once hog-tied and whipped with an apple branch so badly that the skin peeled from his back. He missed school for 3 weeks. He tried to run, but his brothers dragged him back. "Get back there," they told him. But even as bad as that was, he says his sister Victoria suffered far worse. Victoria was abused by their dad every night from the age of 6 till she moved out at the age of 18. Mark doesn't remember much about it, except seeing his father disappear into her room each night and the strong smell of Dettol that he would use to clean himself up afterwards. "I still can't stand the smell of Dettol to this day." Victoria later said she felt like a mother to Mark. She tried to protect him, but nobody protected her. Not their mom, not the church, not the system. And if she refused to sleep with her father, he would take his anger out on her other siblings. Mark didn't know how to process that world. So he lashed out. He became a bully. He got into fights, crime, anything to release the rage. "Home was never safe," he said. "I felt safer on the streets." He had no intention to be a professional fighter until a late-night altercation outside a nightclub. The brawl did not last long, and Mark knocked out multiple people. Sam Marsters, one of the bouncers at the door, was impressed by the young man's knockout power and invited him to his gym to take up formal training. From there, Mark Hunt's rise began. He found structure through martial arts, starting with Muay Thai, then kickboxing. In 2001, he shocked the world by winning the K1 World Grand Prix. By 2010, he was in the UFC, trading shots with giants like Stipe Miocic, Roy Nelson, and Junior Dos Santos. Fans admired his toughness and refusal to quit, but didn't know why. "Part of my gift as a fighter," he once said, "is being a human punching bag. I don't feel pain like most people." Brian Ortiga. Raised in San Pedro, California, in a Section 8 housing project, violence was normal. Gang shootouts, police sirens, packed rooms with no space to sleep. That was his reality. At one point, his father parked an old motorhome outside, ready in case stray bullets came through the walls. As a kid, Ortega got jumped, bullied, and thrown into street fights. He recalls, "If someone took your ball, your dad didn't help. You got sent to take it back. And if you came home empty-handed, you got beat." He often slept on the floor because there weren't enough beds. 14 to 16 people in the house. No room, no silence, no peace. Martin, his dad, taught him how to survive on the streets, where to take cover, how to take cover, and how to spot suspicious cars. He taught him how to jump his first fence and instinctively seek cover if a suspicious car pulled up. "There was actually a point where he told me to come home one night," Ortega said. "I'm riding my bike home, and all of a sudden this car behind me turns off its lights and guns it. I'm like, my time's coming. I'm gonna get shot. I drop my bike and start running, zigzag across the street, and hide under this car. In my head, I'm thinking I'm good. Then I hear my dad, 'Hey Brian, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead. Next time, run to your right and jump the first fence you see.'" By 13, he'd already been beaten up by an 18-year-old gang member in front of his friends. That same week, his dad took him to a local jiu-jitsu gym, not for sport, but to learn how to defend himself against bigger dudes. That gym turned out to be the legendary Gracie Academy, but they couldn't afford the fees. When Renair Gracie found out, he paid for Ortega himself, on one condition: Brian had to stay out of trouble. That was easier said than done. When he was 17, Ortega was caught in a drive-by shooting, which led to him holding one of his dearest friends on the side of the street as he bled to death from a gunshot wound in the back. Renair Gracie, Ortega's Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach, has watched Ortega bounce between these lives since they met in 2004. Ortega would assist him in a seminar 1 minute and disappear for months at a time the next. "There were times I wouldn't see or hear from him in months, and in my mind, he was dead," Gracie said. "I was just waiting for his father to come and tell me. Brian was going to end up dead or in jail, or time was going to do its thing and he was eventually going to choose the right path. His only escape was fighting. He entered underground MMA fights, no gloves, bare-knuckle, backroom cages, and kept winning. Word got around. That's when a local coach, James Lurson, approached him. Ortega was 17, hanging out with the wrong crowd, eating burritos on the beach with a guy on the run from the cops. James walked straight up and said, "Why are you with these guys?" No one talked to Ortega like that, but James didn't care. "Come to my house tomorrow. I'll teach you to box." Ortega went. That decision changed his entire life. Leon Edwards.